we're all gonna dress up and reenact the Endgame movie.
We're gonna reenact the Endgame movie?
Yes. Reenact the scenes we're talking about.
Okay, but
No. Okay.
but I get to be Captain America's ass. America's ass.
Just the ass?
Just the ass.
Just the ass.
America's ass. And I get to be a tub of melted ice cream.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Guys Talk Comics. I'm Josh,
And I'm Keegan.
and we are joined today by Johnny
Hi.
and Matt,
How y'all doing?
and we are talking about Avengers Endgame.
That's not it.
It was close enough. Yeah, so it's probably... Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Probably the most talked about anything right now is Avengers.
Yeah, the only other thing that I know
TV, in the movies. Like, I don't know anything that's...
Game of Thrones.
Game of
Oh, yeah.
Thrones.
Even though it
Yeah.
sucked. And
I mean,
I'll fight people.
Amelia Clark's in it, so it's never bad. Once she's out, I'm out. I mean,
It is
that's
when
how
you
this
can't
one-
see anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So dark.
They're like, it's
We had every light turned off.
TV CGI, so
Yeah,
we're
that
going to
was
make
the
it
biggest,
super fucking dark.
Complaint I think I heard it was too dark.
Wait, are you talking about the latest episode?
Yeah.
Yes, the latest episode.
He dies.
Who
Yeah.
dies?
No one.
When everyone dies.
We're caught up. Which
Yeah.
one?
The
Who?
Night King.
Oh. Spoilers.
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 But-
Not Danny, so we're good. I can continue watching Game of Thrones.
We are going to do a quick 3 to 5 minute review.
Non-spoilers.
In-game
Review. And then we are going to let you guys know very vividly in multiple ways that it's going to become spoilers, so you need to fuck off if you haven't seen the movie.
And if you don't, all fucking well.
Yeah. It
Exactly.
is your fault if you stick around. It's not our fault. So what did everybody think of it? Keegan?
The longer I've had to think about it, the more it's grown on me. Because there's a lot to take in, I think, within the movie. And at first, I think some people might come away not like disappointed, but not seeing it live up to what the potential it should have. But the longer you go through and think about all the little connections it's made throughout all the movies and all the characters, I definitely like it.
Johnny?
So we saw it Thursday night, and I had some definite problems with it, and I still have like some of the same issues, but we saw it again last night, which would be Tuesday, so 5 days later, and I definitely liked it more the second time around. Being able to see kind of like, this was definitely like a fan service movie for the original 6 Avengers, but definitely more so for Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man.
Yeah, it was kind of like their like love letter / farewell letter to like the originals.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
I liked it. I mean, I saw it on Saturday, gave it a few days to come out, playing, the la 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 la. Anytime you could hear anybody talking about anything, running from another room, look like a crazy person.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was excited to see it, and I liked it a lot, actually.
I have to agree. I very much enjoyed it. I put it on par with Infinity War in my list of emotional movies and stuff, and this one was so enjoyable for me. There was so much in the movie that just filled me with joy and filled me with so many emotions.
A lot of sadness.
A lot of sadness, but there was so much.
Not always.
There was so much joy.
I guess not always like sadness in the way you're sad, but sadness because you're happy.
There's moments
Like,
in,
yeah.
in it where I'm just like, yeah, just fuck yeah, and I just want to yell out in the theater. Luckily, the night we saw it was the first night,
And everyone was
everybody
yelling.
was screaming too. So we got lucky that.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was great.
Well, that adds to it when you're in an environment where you, as a moviegoer, are able to just stand up and go, "Yes!"
Oh yes.
That adds to your experience. Where,
Oh yeah.
you know, you get more of the calmer crowd here later on. You know, it's not going to be that same exciting crowd. You're going to have people going, "What? What was that?"
Me and Johnny had that because we went and saw it the second time on Tuesday after it came out, and we already saw like that difference between crowds of the people that got their tickets, either prepaid for their tickets and stuff, versus the people that came when it was $5 Tuesday at AMC.
The people that stood
But
2
it was
hours in
still-
line
but
to
there was
even get
still
into
a
the
line.
movie.
But there was still a line,
and it was still an hour before.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like as structured of everybody stand. I mean, they still had that, but it wasn't like, okay, everybody stand here and then
for 2 hours, and then you
Yeah.
can go and wait another
but still,
hour and
the
then watch.
people were early to make sure that they could get their
Hellboy.
seats.
Well, and then the ones who actually showed up to the theaters, I think, ended up better off than those who rely on the technology because it was such a popular movie. It hit that huge crash where, at least on the main like Regal site and AMC, they went down. You couldn't get your tickets.
Yep.
You had to go to Fandango. Fandango was still up, thank goodness. But I know I missed out on a couple because I'm an AMC A Rewards member and trying to get tickets to it, and it's like, what the hell is going on? And then I got a friend who's in line, like, got my tickets. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But
It was
We were
crazy.
lucky, and
Oh
but
my
we
God!
definitely
Looking at the times, though, they had
Yeah.
movies playing every 15 minutes.
Yeah,
even here.
yeah, and the Castle
Well,
Rock.
and then some at
Yeah.
like 3 in the morning. It's like a start time at 3 a.m. I had
Yeah.
to double check
Yeah.
to make sure I didn't get
But
one
yeah,
of those.
even for
'cause
Tuesday,
it's like,
they
wow.
still had like 30 showings for just.
I was
digital.
prepared to for us to go there at 2 a.m., watch the movie, then go to work.
Yeah,
Because
we even talked about
But
that.
yeah, if you hit like bed at 8 o'clock, you can get 5 hours of sleep in there, and that's enough to,
yeah.
to go on. You know, just take a nap somewhere.
So
That's
would
how dedicated
you,
we are.
Yeah. Would you recommend it to anybody to watch?
Yes, but no, because like we've said, it does really heavily rely on all the other MCU movies. So if you're one of the people that have not seen the MCU movies, probably not. At least go see the other ones first, and then see Endgame, because then you'll be lost. If you have seen MCU movies, go see it.
So the funny thing is that when we went and saw it the second time, there was a guy waiting, and he brought his parents, and his parents had not seen a single one, or at least definitely had not seen Infinity War, but they seemed to really enjoy it.
Yeah, they were. It was
So-
interesting because you could hear they were right behind us, so you could hear
Yeah.
them responding to stuff that happened in the movie, and they were like, "Oh wow!"
See, watching
And it's very
Infinity War,
interesting.
when I watched it, there's people that hadn't seen any of the MCU movies except for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so while they enjoyed it, they were like completely
Oh,
lost
yeah.
coming out of it.
Yeah.
And I think this, if you haven't seen Infinity War, you just be
I mean,
like,
you're going to be lost, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong.
you're not gonna have that emotional connection.
Right.
So if you then were to recommend it to somebody and they had to watch one movie before going and seeing that one,
I
would it
think
be
you have to watch a
Infinity Wars?
couple.
Yeah, you have to watch a couple.
Definitely Infinity War, probably the first Avengers.
Infinity War,
Iron
the first
Man,
Avengers,
the first Iron
Thor: The Dark World, apparently,
I-
which is the worst
I-
movie ever.
Yeah,
But you do, you
actually have to.
unfortunately kind of have to.
but we'll get into more of that.
But quickly, we'll get through. Would you recommend it? To
I definitely would. I mean, even if you haven't seen the others, I think it's at least a good game. I mean, it'll definitely make you want to watch the other ones, and then you can rewatch it and have an even better experience.
Matt, what do you?
Yeah, I would recommend it to anyone. Again, you rely on that age of making sure if your kid can sit through a movie, and they're in that younger 7, 8 range, I think they'll do just fine with the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, go
And I
see
have-
it. Make sure though you're prepared for a 3-hour movie.
Yes.
A lot of people I think are like, oh, I don't know. That's where.
Yeah.
Definitely use the restroom. Definitely make sure you've got your snacks and everything. Because I mean, the first time we went and saw it, the moment those credits hit, man, I had to use the restroom. And thankfully, there's no end credit scene. Whether you think that's spoilers or not, I don't care. But there's no end credit scene, so you're fine.
Yeah.
But
We're saving you your time, pretty much.
with that. The only other thing I was going to say is so far, I mean, we've gone to 2 showings now, and I want to say that the kids have all been very respectful.
Yeah. No kids have been like running up and down the aisles or making that loud noises.
It's definitely better than when me and Matt went and saw La Llorona, and we had a bunch of annoying kids and teenagers behind us.
Yeah, it was a little obnoxious there.
Yeah.
For me, I would recommend it to just about anyone. I think if you really want to understand what's going to happen in the movie, definitely need to sit down and watch a few of the previous movies.
Just watch them all. You'll be
fine.
fine.
I mean, do a marathon if you're like, man, I really want to get into this. Just marathon it all.
Well, and then would you recommend going based off of some of the other sites? Say there's a certain pattern to watch movies, and they're not necessarily in a chronological order. Would you do it that way? I mean, maybe that might be a good way.
I feel like doing like a
timeline where
like in the MCU's chronology of how the movies go. I think for somebody just wanting to watch it for the first time, I don't think that's really
necessary.
I don't think that's necessary for them. If you're a big fan, totally go ahead and see if you can.
And if you can throw in like Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well.
If you really want to get deep and watch those, do it. Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., skip past season 1, you'll be fine.
Well, you kind of do need to watch season 1.
There's websites,
but there is a website that'll tell you exactly which episodes you need to watch of season 1, and then it gets better.
Season 1 is just kind of a slog.
Hallelujah for the people who do that research.
Yeah.
But I think if you just needed to get like Cliff Notes, just watch.
And somebody has a list out there, and they said Ant-Man and the Wasp, just because that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Infinity War, Avengers 2012. Age of Ultron, Civil War.
Yeah.
Mostly the ones...
I'd probably throw Iron Man in there just for...
like the first Iron Man.
Just for, good measure.
Sure.
Just since it's the beginning,
we'll just
see where
say...
it started, where see it ended.
We'll say kind of like how George Lucas said Star Wars is poetry and it always comes back to itself. That's why I wouldn't include Iron Man, because this does come back to itself.
Yeah.
It does.
All right. I think that's it for our non-spoiler review of Avengers: Endgame:
Okay.
Anyway, so now we're gonna get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't listen to this part.
Here is your spoiler.
Pause it, turn it off, go see the movie, throw your money at the Russo brothers.
Yes.
Just do that. Don't listen to this. If you do listen to this and you haven't seen the movie, it's not on us. This is your free will moment. After this, you're stuck in
noises. You should hear a lot of stuff right about now.
Yep.
Good God, girl, get out.
All right.
So that scene with Wolverine.
Oh my God!
We got you.
Favorite moments, go.
Favorite moments? Oh,
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, okay, so we can... funny moment that I really loved, of course, is Thor in his new look. As the Big Lebowski.
Which is kind of funny because Jeff Bridges played the first villain of the MCU.
Yeah.
Obadiah Stane. Yeah.
Poetry in motion.
And I think it's funny. I mean, because, of course, Thor is, eye candy for a lot of people. Just as much as, Chris Evans is and stuff like that. And then they were like... But he looks like his dad, which I really like.
It works so well with him, and he plays it just hilariously because You just see him as like this burnt out Thor.
Well, and I think him and Chris Pratt have a lot of good chemistry, and I really want to see them do the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
I think that's going to be very funny.
I really
Man,
hope
what if
that's
that is
what,
the name of it instead of
They
like,
might, yeah, they might do Asgardians of the
just
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
and then it's them looking for Gamora, I'm sure.
It's probably going to have something to do
And
with
Adam
Gamora.
Warlock.
Yeah.
Adam Warlock's going to
Yeah,
Well,
hopefully.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
Well, okay,
that's-
for sure we know Adam Warlock is being created.
Yeah, that was the big tease. though.
Without
And a lot of people thought that would be...
the Soul Stone.
It's true.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that would be something that would introduce him was Infinity War, which obviously we now know it didn't happen. So
Yeah.
where does he come in,
I don't
if
know.
at all?
It's possible that they
I'm guessing
could-
Guardians 3.
Yeah.
If they're
Probably.
going with the original script, which
They
I'm
said they
sure...
were.
Yeah. So I'm sure he'll come in.
Favorite moment.
I have no idea.
Favorite moment, Matt.
I'm trying to think.
Another
There's just a lot. I don't know.
another good one is Thor or Captain America picking up Thor's hammer.
That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
was going to say was when... Because, like, Thor is holding off Stormbreaker from...
Barely.
Thanos-
Very, very.
barely
Like
holding
it's cutting his armor.
Yeah, and then the hammer just floats up, and then it comes at. Oh, it comes. Doesn't it hit?
I want to
It
say
hits him.
It hits
him.
Thanos, and then it flies
Back.
back, and Captain America grabs it,
Yeah.
and then Thor's like, "Yeah, I knew it."
Yeah. Because obviously that was teased in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
And a lot of people were like, did he even try?
oh, he definitely tried. I think he just doubted himself, which when you doubt yourself, then you're not worthy.
Yeah,
But I definitely love that Thor was like, I knew it, even though in Age of Ultron
He got
was
all
like,
scared.
Scared.
yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes got all wide.
And then
Yeah,
he was
that's-
like, making funny faces like, okay, good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was probably like that was the moment where everyone was like, "Yeah!" in the theater.
Yeah, I think that got the loudest reaction.
It did,
I
yeah,
would
that
say.
first time.
I did kind of like seeing Spider-Man's kill mode.
Yes,
Oh, it's
I
funny.
know.
Yeah.
Kill mode
It's-
activate, and then
it's just
all
like-
little, yeah,
Just starts stabbing everyone.
stabby McLegs.
God, there's
The female Avenger moment,
Yeah.
well, a little forced. I felt like,
Because
But-
how did they all get to the same part?
well, everyone's got communicators, which
we were talking about.
we were talking about that. Like, how are they all
Off mic.
communicating on the battlefield? And I was like, oh, they probably.
Well,
let's
we
just
know for
ask
sure
our
the
communicators ahead of
Asgardians.
time.
That's just like in the
Should
first
have
Avengers.
already,
Like
yeah.
they're all talking, and you're like, "Wait a minute, do they have headsets?"
Just-
'Cause I don't
just
see
to throw
headsets.
in.
Well, in the
something.
5-year period, we already know that New Asgard has been, involved with like Black Widow, trying to get the world kind of somewhat together. So obviously, they're going to have some sort of communication. So
Have you guys seen Shazam yet?
Yes.
No.
I don't want to spoil this. Keegan, plug your ears. So there's a part in Shazam.
spoilers for Shazam.
Spoilers for Shazam. We're already in spoilers, so
But
double
still.
spoilers. This is spoilerception.
Get out.
Yeah.
Inception.
Well, but they didn't know it was going to be spoilers for Shazam. So boop
Right?
boop.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. There's a part where Shazam and the bad guy, they're like facing off all Matrix style in the air, but they're like at least like a
this
quarter
is
of a
in
mile
the
from each
trailer. You've seen it.
Yeah, they're like a quarter of a mile from each other, and
Oh,
the
they're
bad
having
guy.
that full-on dialogue.
Yeah, they're having
What?
the
He's
the
like, "You're
villain's
a mile
monologuing,
away,
and
I
he's
can't
like, "I
hear you."
can't hear you."
There's traffic. There's wind.
That's all I could think of when everybody's like talking on the battlefield is like they have to have communicators because nobody can hear shit when
Yeah.
there's a battle going on,
If you have that friendly fire and be like, oh, I just took out Spider-Man. Shit.
right?
Right.
Oh God!
Help! Help!
I know. That's what I
Spider-Man's
was wondering. It's like,
down!
how the hell do you not act? I mean, friendly fire. That's a part
Snapping
of
back into
war.
existence again.
Well, I'm sure, like, with Cap, Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Tony Stark built suits.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
that part I
form of
understand,
communication, right? But yeah, how are they communicating with everyone else?
I just assumed,
the tribes
like-
that come in.
Yeah.
Like they had Rescue, which is Pepper Potts. I just imagine she just handed out.
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
communicators.
over that 5-year period, obviously the people who survived, I'm just assuming. So, like, the new Asgardians, or, the remaining Asgardians that came in, we already know that Black Panther and his army, they were dusted, but they came back. We already know they have communicators because of technology with vibranium. So, it's one of those, like, but it's something that, it can easily be explained.
But yeah, it felt a little bit forced with all the female
Just
Avengers
a little bit,
hopping
and I
down
felt like
together.
there was a better way that they could have done it, but
Yeah.
I also love Captain Marvel's haircut.
Yeah,
She looks really good.
She looked a little bit more badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her outfit at the end of the funeral was really hot.
Yeah.
And I'm gay, and I don't even. But I was like, she looks good.
Yeah, I think having her hair cut made her look a little bit more rough and tumble. Like she'd been out and doing stuff, not just chilling out at the Avengers.
Now, is there going to be people that are disappointed with how little she's actually in the movie?
Oh yeah, because I've already seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Well, and I think some of the teaser trailers where you see Marvel interacting with Thor. And, I like her. You would think, like, okay, they're going to use her. All right, great. We're going to see maybe a lot of her in it.
Yeah, like a
I can be honest. I think I was a little disappointed where I'm like, okay, and Captain Marvel is it? No, nothing.
Yeah.
And then finally at the end when, they're like, something's coming at us real fast and it's bright. It's like, oh, there she is.
Yeah.
About time. Where is Fury?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and someone had talked about that they did the same thing with Black Panther. So they had the Black Panther film, and then they had Infinity War. And the fact that he wasn't very big in Infinity War, even though the trailers and everything made it look like he was going to be very big in the film, and he has very little dialogue.
I feel like, though, Black Panther and Infinity War, I don't know. I feel like there was more of him in that.
I think they used the setting
I
more.
feel like he was used better, we'll say.
I think they just
I
because they
feel
used
like they
Wakanda more.
Didn't
So
know.
Shuri was going to work on Vision, and Okoye was, working with Black Panther, but he has about as much screen time as Captain Marvel does.
I think it's hard to use Captain Marvel.
Well, I think
mean,
that's the problem. It's like the
Because she's
broken,
so powerful.
the broken superhero.
yeah, it's like Superman. Like it's really hard to just like use Superman a lot in the movie,
Which is, I guess, what you see they did in Justice League.
yeah.
Where they're like, we can't really use him because then there's no...
Yeah, he gets in at
Fight.
like the last
Yeah, he's powerful.
third of the
Powerful.
movie, and then he pretty much just makes mincemeat of them.
Yeah, what was his name?
Steppenwolf?
Steppenwolf.
Yes.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
makes mincemeat of that. He carries
kept
a
wanting to
building and
think-
all that.
Beowulf? And I was like,
Yeah,
no, that
no.
ain't it.
But the same thing with Captain Marvel. Like, they're in the middle of the fight. They're getting bombarded by just laser blasts. Everyone's getting thrown around. As soon as she's like past the atmosphere, they fucking turn all their fire on her because they know that she's the threat,
Yeah.
and just decimates Thanos' ship instantly.
Instantly.
And it's like, I don't know. It's hard to use such a powerful
Yeah.
character.
That can
Because you
maybe
gotta have
be
the equal
my
strength.
most badass moment of the
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
I think is
Okay.
when she destroyed
Yeah.
the ship.
She just,
And Thanos is just like, what the
yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was like sad face.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Thanos so sad
But
face.
Thanos went toe to toe with her, and she went toe to toe with him. He tried to headbutt her, and she didn't.
I love that she, like, literally no movement.
Yep.
he headbutted her and like she just stood there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the end, even she wasn't strong enough.
I have issues with that, but we can talk about some other things before we get there. But I did want to say I do like that they do mention, she's like, there are other planets that don't have you guys. And I think that's
It's also because the Guardians were dusted.
right. But also the Guardians don't really protect the galaxy.
No, they're pretty bad at their jobs.
Yeah.
That's why we like them.
And I'm wondering if we're going to get like
They relate to everyone.
Fantastic Four to do more of that.
See, that's where it's like, where do they go from here?
Yeah. Which we can get into.
Yeah.
Worst moment?
Worst moments?
I think worst moment also kind of goes back to Thor. As much as it was funny, I think at some parts it was kind of distracting.
I could see that, but
Because like everything's like dark and gloomy, and you're just like, well, one of these things doesn't belong here.
What's dark and gloomy?
Just like towards the final fight, like I don't know. There's parts where I'm just like, there's Thor.
I love
looking
that
like
even though he was
he's
overweight,
cosplaying.
like it didn't stop him from being able to whoop his ass.
No, like it's not that. It was just like there's parts of it where he was just like still kind of goofy-ish,
Yeah.
and you're just like, all right.
But that's
Thor,
kind of
like,
how Thor is, though.
I don't know. I feel like
And that's
they
how
built
he was in
Thor up, and now
Ragnarok.
he's just like his character's got like really undefined, and then like towards the end they brought him back. He just went through a weird loop where like a character like Hawkeye I thought had a much better arc. He went from a character that everyone didn't like to like one where people actually are like, okay, he's not a bad character now.
so having seen it twice, albeit I was extremely exhausted the second viewing. I don't know if you agree with me, Johnny, but I think towards the middle part, when they're like building up to the time traveling part, but a little bit into the time traveling part, the movie sags a little bit in there.
So, like, which parts of that?
So like a lot of the bouncing back and forth between talking to Tony and getting Tony to do the time travel, and then trying to get the suits done, and then Clint's thing with when he tests it, and then
Okay.
just kind of them like starting to get into like they're gonna go get the cube from
New York.
New York, and they're gonna get the staff and all that stuff. I feel like it kind of sags there.
Okay. So, like,
I feel like there's a lot of
get in
drag in
there.
that part.
Okay. Need to be more 80s montage. Less.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done like made it a little bit more snappy to get through this part, because on the first viewing it was fine because it was interesting seeing like oh, okay, this is all the steps they took, but after seeing it the second time,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know they're gonna get through this part.
Well,
Yeah.
that's probably going to be hard with any movie you see a second time, is you now know where like those slower parts are, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we're about ready to hit a brick wall. This is time, run up real quick, go get a drink, go to the bathroom
Yeah.
real fast, because you know what's coming.
I definitely think that's like, if you've seen it once and you want to go see it again, that's when you can go take a bathroom
quick
break.
break.
Yeah.
The part of the movie I didn't like, and I mean it's not a bad part, it was like, why these two, why now in the movie, was when Hawkeye and Black Widow had to battle for Soul, you know, who was going over, and the respect and love that they both had for each other was, you know, one was not letting the other one go over, and that was kind of like sucked. And the beginning of the movie too, to take a guy's family, like, wow, dude, like, whoa,
Yeah. No, that.
just to
But
see
I
his
think
kids
that.
go and wife, it's like, damn.
Well, and I think that really hammers in like how serious it was.
Yeah.
And obviously, seeing the trailer, at least to me, I knew that was going to be the first scene, because we didn't know where Clint was. He was out of Infinity War. Him and Ant-Man. You know, those were the only two that we didn't get to see. So obviously, we knew that we were going to get some sort of update on what happened to Clint.
I want to see a movie where he's just running the entire time.
That's totally possible.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he's still...
That scene was, as we were watching, I was like, oh, this is actually a really well-filmed scene.
Yeah.
Like, that might be one of the best scenes in the whole MCU as far as, like, filmography.
Him fighting as Ronan, or okay.
Just how they're panning and moving, Cinematography-wise, like, that's something
I really liked his fighting in this movie.
Yeah.
Even against the Outriders and all that, towards the end of the fight. The scene that I didn't like, because this is something they've hammered more than enough. We didn't need to have another scene telling us these things about these two characters, was Tony having a moment with his dad in the 70s and Captain America having a moment with Agent Carter. We already know he misses Agent Carter. We already know he wishes that he could have spent a life with her. We don't need him being a creepy peeping Tom staring at her on the other side of the
I think that scene
glass.
is vital into what he does at the end, though.
I don't.
Because if you watch the other ones, he becomes very secure that he's a man out of time, and that he actually, in his mind, he feels like he's someone different.
Even from that end, not the end credit scene, but that end scene of where he wakes up out of the ice in First Avenger, you already know he is a man out of time, and that if he could have had it his way, he either would have stayed dead, because then it would have been worth it.
I don't know, because
instead of coming back in the sense of, I mean, obviously he's alive and he's done things to help people, but like in that moment, it's something that like he keeps checking the compass with her picture in it. Like, he has memories, he's haunted in Age of Ultron by a vision of, wanting to see Agent Carter and dancing with her. We already know if he had it his way, he'd go back in time and do that. I don't need another scene telling me that. If anything, I would have been fine with him seeing her like that, but we didn't need another daddy issue scene with Tony.
Well, yeah.
And especially one about having a kid.
I'm just saying, that scene less...
I mean, that one works more. And
I'm saying the Agent Carter, especially because at the end of Age of Ultron, he kind of admits that he's a different person now, and that person that went in the ice died and a new person came out.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's also that as well.
And so, like, watching the movie, I got, okay, when he saw her, he realized he's been living a lie the whole time.
And then also with the survivors group he talks about how he needs to get a life and move on, but it's hard for him to do that. So, yeah, I didn't need him to have that scene with her. I think we can cut out that 10 to 15, like, just grab what you need, see him, have like a soft piano moment, but you don't need to have like a full 10-15 minute conversation. I really didn't feel like that was necessary.
Could have been tightened up a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely the Tony part,
Yeah, that one kind of like hops back and forth.
I know,
with other
especially
stuff,
with what happens at the end, I get it, but with Civil War, I get it. You have daddy issues. You have serious father issues. I don't need more,
One could say Martha issues.
Martha! What's your dad's name?
But you killed
Jonathan?
my parents.
Mine's Thomas.
How about you, Matt? What?
He said the Vormir.
Oh, the Vormir?
Yeah, which I'm upset about that, but for different reasons. So, for me, even though it's supposed to be the original Avengers, they really love to focus on Tony and Captain America. And I get it. They're like the two most and there's, every Tony movie, every movie that has Tony in it, it makes way more money, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But we already knew that. For one, I felt like it was a cheap way for Black Widow to go out. Because we already knew that the Soul Stone, the only way to get it is for someone to sacrifice themselves.
No.
So it's like, really, that's how we're gonna do it. Like, if you couldn't see it, the moment they said they're going to Vormir,
I
then it's
still
like,
have to fact check that.
for what?
I swear in Infinity War, he doesn't say a soul for a soul.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick fact check, so you're gonna have to cut this part.
All right, we're gonna do a quick fact check. All right, never mind. He does say it's a soul for a soul. I was pretty sure originally he just said you had to lose something you loved, which is why I figured the how it should have ended. They did him throwing the chair.
Oh, did he?
His chair off the side of it and it crashed into the ground.
Oh, nice. The thing you love the most.
Yeah.
But no, it's a soul for a soul.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also didn't feel like in terms of and watching it a second time, it was a little bit better. I picked up on the nuances a little bit more with her story, but I didn't feel like they framed her story well like they did with and again, this is Black Widow, framed her story of like, because I mean, she's the one holding everything together.
Well,
Captain America's doing a survival group. Fucking everybody else is off.
That's something we lost too, because you see it in the trailers. There's much more scenes building her character
Yes.
that were cut or just filmed to like throw us off. But you see her struggling through like sadness, obviously, because she's lost people.
Yes.
But she's still there, you know, practicing, staying strong, focusing on the mission. And I think if we got that, it would have helped.
Yeah. And so I was really upset with that because obviously this is a sausage fest. It's been a sausage fest for a really long time until we got Scarlet Witch, but still two females. And so then, like, yeah, we had a female Avenger scene and, like, all these females, you know. But
Scarlet Witch had a pretty badass scene.
Yeah.
yes.
She was going to tear Thanos limb from
and she's
limb.
the only one, even against Captain Marvel. But we're going to talk about that. So Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch are the only two that have really been able to go up against Thanos solo without, if he didn't have these tactic, you know, moments, he would not have won against them. And yeah, she's obviously very strong.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because her powers are given to her by an Infinity Stone. And Captain Marvel is, you know, Kree and all that. So
Well, she almost didn't seem as strong in Infinity War. Maybe she got stronger afterwards, but when at the beginning of the movie they were protecting the stone, it just seemed like she was not as badass as she is in this movie.
I mean, she lost the love of her life. She's
Yeah.
very angry.
She went kind of full Phoenix.
Definitely,
in this one.
like,
Yeah.
every time she gets pissed off, like, when her brother
Yes.
dies, she eviscerates
Uh,
the Ultron
like, all the
robots into
Ultron,
dust
Yeah, that are around her.
and then hunts him down and rips his heart out.
And then in Civil War, she's not really mad, but when she was confident and ready to go up against Tony and them, like, she's like flinging fucking vehicles at people and
When she just
holding
like,
up a building.
She
that's-
sent Vision like straight to hell in that one scene.
Right. So, you know, I think she has moments, but I mean, obviously, and they talk about this is, you know, it's not, the powers are, what's the word? Like, it's just, she still has to learn how to control it, and she's still learning, you know, and I mean, it's an Infinity Stone, and it's the most corruptible one.
See, the person I think I would have liked to see kill Thanos at the end would have been Nebula.
Which happens in the comics
Yeah, and I think it would have actually helped her arc.
a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they did it with Tony because they're mirror images of each other in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And so they show each power but weakness to each other. And so they both had to die. Kind of like in Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
I think she almost kind of did in a way. Because her having some weird connection with the other Nebula instigated Thanos to come to this moment where he does not have the Infinity Gauntlet.
Correct.
And he has to take on the remaining Avengers, and they actually have a chance to kick his butt now. And then they manage to get everyone back and then defeat him. If she hadn't done that, or, that hadn't happened with her, they wouldn't have been able to kill him in the end that way. So in a way, she kind of did instigate his death.
I just think the redemption angle where, like...
I think it would have twisted the story.
I guess it was...
her biggest enemy was always herself.
I guess it was kind of there.
Obviously her killing her past self, or...
Right in the beginning where he realizes maybe he was too tough on her. So I guess she kind of did it a little bit. Right before he gets his head cut off.
Also, I don't think we had nearly as much background on Nebula as anyone else. Like, we've had mentions, and we got to see
childhood.
We did get to see her get tortured a little bit, but we've not really we've not seen her childhood. We've not seen
we've seen more of Gamora's childhood, and
Gamora had more of a reason to kill Thanos at this point.
I don't know,
and that's why I think it works more that because again, her biggest enemy was always herself. Yeah. She was never good enough to beat Gamora. She was never good enough. She was never the good enough daughter for Thanos. Stuff like that. She was always trying to prove herself, and she just needed to realize she was fine. So she was always, and I really love, and you see that even more so when Gamora B, or Nebula B, is torturing Nebula A, and she's like, "You sicken me," and it's like, well, yeah, 'cause she hates her fucking self, So her shooting herself, that it actually, I think, it closes that arc. I get what you're saying, and in the comics it works. I'd almost be like, let Gamora kill him, even more so.
It's not the same Gamora, so I don't know if there's that.
True. If it had been the same Gamora or Gamora A,
Yeah, but if original Gamora came back somehow,
but
that would be more reason why she should kill him. But.
But I think with Tony, I agree with you that and obviously he's always known this bigger thing was coming.
Yeah, a lot of the things in the Vision came true.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America's broken shield and everything. So I think this is something that he was building up to, and it makes more sense as far as why did Strange give away the stone to save Tony, because Tony's the only way they could have won, I guess.
Well, there is a fan theory to that, but was there any other parts you wanted to talk about before we get into favorite Easter egg or something?
Howard the Duck.
I love that I didn't even,
it's the best thing I have until they have Hit Monkey. So,
it's true. He's the closest.
It's plus or minus. How many people did Howard the Duck kill in the battle?
We don't know.
I'm going to say
all of them.
10, 20. I bet he's secretly the James Bond of this universe.
We got to see if somebody has a kill list.
Quack food.
Right. Somebody, when the movie comes out on Blu-ray, people just watch one character and see how many people they kill in the background.
You just see Howard the Duck just annihilating people.
Oh my god, he's just back there grabbing swords, just decapitating guys.
Well, and I like that he was in this because for a while it was just he was just in the Guardians movies.
Yes.
So it was kind of neat to see someone that personally I was he's only.
It raises questions. When did he join the Avengers group?
I don't know if he's ever been an Avenger, but I know that he's been involved with Marvel stuff, and especially on big, multiverse scale things. He's been involved.
Well, he was with the Collectors.
Yeah, but
he was in the Collectors collection, so maybe he died, or maybe he just barely escaped, and I don't know.
Well, he obviously lives.
Yeah, well,
he obviously lives at the end of Guardians 1.
And
then
in
2, we see him schmoozing up some prostitute.
Yeah.
And then So, and then obviously now, even if he was dusted, he's obviously back,
Yeah.
and he's.
I want to see that movie. Just Howard the Duck, like how he
As-
ends up getting to
and
the
Comet the
fight.
dog.
Yeah,
Howard the Duck and Comet
Yeah,
the
he,
dog.
he had to survive because, you know, when you're in Infinity War, they showed Thanos at the Collector's place after he destroyed it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no other life there, you know, you could see. So, I mean...
But he wasn't.
Did he get
I mean, that was on a different planet where he was schmoozing up the prostitute. That was wherever the Ravagers were, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, were there any Ravagers? Like,
I think there were, and I think that
Okay.
was part of it. Like
so
some
maybe
of the
that's how he
ships.
got it.
Oh, maybe he joined up with the Ravagers,
Yeah.
Oh,
like the
yeah,
old school ones.
Yeah, I figured like there was a whole Guardians like other like whatever Sylvester Stallone and all
Like
those.
his group, he
Yeah.
just joined up with them.
At
in
this
space.
point, we're just like thinking too much about it. Literally, they were just
These
like
are the answers that I need.
throw all the
Oh, there
movies
was
at once.
yeah, there was
Throw
there were
everyone in there.
Asgardian ships. There were ships from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mhm.
There was obviously Black Panther. There were
They threw everything
wizards
at the end.
or whatever. Yeah,
and I'm sure as
wizards.
people get their hands on a digital copy or some way where they can pause and slow-mo
actually,
stuff,
yeah.
you'll actually probably see a lot more characters that you're like, wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know he was in there.
Exactly. And that was another moment I liked was, man, like, Thanos beat the shit out of Captain America, broke his shield. He's, like, on the ground, and he's like, I gotta get back up. He does, and, like, Thanos is standing there, and his army's, like, coming up right behind him. And he's like, but he's not giving up. And then
Because he can do it all day.
well, he's willing to at least sacrifice himself to try to do something. And then he hears Sam on, that was like, I was like, yes, do it. And he's like, on your left, which is what Captain America says to him when he was running past him in Winter Soldier. And
So many callbacks.
there's a lot of
There's a lot of
great-
callbacks.
Yeah, this was definitely a fantastic film for the original 6, but still providing more than enough like additional material for other Avengers, other people, and I think Pepper says it great, which another great moment, which I've been fucking waiting for my entire since Iron Man 1 is rescue, is because I just wanted to see Pepper Potts in a rescue suit, and her suit looks amazing. Like, I love
did
all the
like-
shit
Yeah.
she has.
I like that scene
and the
where they're like
lasers.
spinning back to back and fighting.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
Yeah, that's an amazing
Yeah.
scene. But she, at the very end, she tells him we're going to be all right.
You can rest.
You can
now.
rest now. And what she's saying is you don't have to do it all by yourself anymore. It's not all on you. We're going to be okay. And I think that really,
It was a super good callback to all the other Iron Men too.
yeah,
Like in Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 especially, when he's just building suits, he can't go to sleep.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Go to
Iron Man
sleep.
3 especially.
And
Yeah.
then
And Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron,
because he wants to
like-
build armor around the
building
world.
and it's just he couldn't stop after seeing
The visions in the future.
seeing the army
Yeah.
in space, seeing the visions that he had. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't rest until he knew it was safe. But now he can. And I cried twice.
I didn't cry. I'm sorry I didn't because usually I'm like an emotional baby.
It did hit me a bit, especially when
teary-eyed.
he was talking to his daughter, and maybe that's just because I'm a father. So it hit me, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I
that's
love you
sad.
3000.
Yeah.
I love that that was his last little stab at Pepper Potts too. Was she loves me 3000.
You're
Right.
in the 600
You're
to 900
low
range.
600 and 900.
It was very Tony of him to conduct his own funeral, though.
Right?
Yeah, of course. That's
Why
very
would he
Tony.
let anyone else do it? He can do it himself.
And that's another Easter egg type thing is the amount of people you see at the end.
Yes.
Where they didn't have any role in the movie, but they're at the
Yeah,
funeral
General
type
Ross
thing.
said nothing, but he's there because he dealt with Tony. You know,
Kid
Man
from
3
Iron
kid.
Man.
Maria Hill. You know, she didn't say shit, but she was there because she's dealt with him a lot. Nick Fury didn't say a damn word.
Yeah. I'm just surprised the cat wasn't there at the funeral as well. You know,
Who?
the cat
Oh yeah,
The cat?
from Captain.
Oh, I know, right?
Flerken.
But whatever happened to
Yeah,
the cat?
well,
I mean,
Captain
come on.
Marvel too. Apparently,
It was a badass cat.
I know. Then
What's his name? It's Goose.
Goose,
Yeah.
Yeah.
named after
The
Top
co-pilot.
Gun.
Yeah.
The best co-pilot.
Yeah.
He's a flirting.
But so, do we want to talk about fan theories or?
Or, like, where do we go? Like, where does the MCU go? I think that's something.
So we get a lot of kids of Avengers in this movie, or kids that were involved with Avengers or inspired by them. So one of the big, like, who the fuck is that? Was the grown-up kid from Iron Man 3. Because he doesn't have a single line, and he
The
just
camera
stands
just, like,
there.
Closes.
But
in on
obviously
him.
he's important.
Yeah.
And you know, he was very inspired by Tony and had a big part in Iron Man 3. And I think the reason why,
Well, he's grown up a
personally-
lot, you know. After
well, right, that's been a while.
maybe got his own room finally.
Finally,
Didn't go to a dinosaur island.
hopefully not.
I mean, he did.
But you know, so but we also get Hawkeye's daughter, who is practicing the bow. It's not Kate Bishop, who in the comics becomes Hawkeye, but there's no reason why she can't grow up to become
Especially with
Hawkeye
Hawkeye's
Jr..
like TV or whatever Disney show is supposed to be him training the next
There you
Hawkeye.
go.
So maybe it will be Kate Bishop or maybe it'll be his daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe we will get like a young.
But it could,
Avengers.
and I mean, that could just be alluding to the fact that he could be training Kate Bishop. Because, but then we have older Cassie Lane,
Mhm.
who becomes Stature, which is, she can become like bigger or smaller. So there's a lot of young Avengers already being introduced. And I'm really hoping they go in that direction. Because that'd be great.
And I think, you know, it's being thrown out there a lot now, too. And we saw it towards the end of the movie is an all-female cast for in a female Avengers movie.
A-Force, yeah.
Yeah. But I am not big in the comic world, and maybe you guys know, is what type of villain would they be up against? I mean, are they going to look at throwing another female villain at him? And
Maybe.
is there one out there?
Yeah,
He'd be
there's...
the best. No.
There's, I mean, it just kind of depends on what they're going to go with. And A-Force was born more out of some weird shit that went on, almost kind of like Rebirth, in the sense of like this being did some weird shit to protect people.
Doctor
And did some interdimensional, multi-dimensional shit, and the A-Force came together to help protect that. And they just so happen to be all female now. There's more to it than that, but that was the gist that I got out of it. I have not read that title. But yeah, there's tons of, I mean, and especially now that they're getting X-Men and stuff like that, I mean, there's so many different characters that they can bring in.
Phoenix.
You know, and yeah, I mean, it could, or Selene. I mean, she's huge. She's the Black Queen. You know,
Could do like an X-23.
right. You know, where she's grown up and shit like that. But you know, in terms of like an A-Force, like Avengers, all female. You know, yeah, if we're gonna do a female villain, ooh, who's a good, like, Come back to me on that one. But Yeah.
Speaking of like villains, so where do we go now that Thanos is gone? Because he's pretty much been like the big villain. I mean, we've had little ones here
It's
and there.
definitely this. This was the end
Yeah.
of this. Sorry, everyone. I hit the microphone out of excitement. This is the end of this cycle. This is the end of
Right.
that big story that they wanted to tell. So this is what happens after either starting with Far From Home or following Far From Home. It's going to be a totally new big story arc that they're going to try to build up.
We're gonna do like a Secret War kind of thing.
They could. I mean, the next movies that come are Far From Home. We have the Black Widow movies, Doctor Strange, the Eternals,
Black Panther 2.
Black Panther 2. Sony is going to do Venom 2, since Sony says that their movies are also in the MCU, in that universe.
I'll believe
That
it
could have
when I
something to do with
see
it.
Venom and Tom Hardy versus Tom.
I mean, Disney now owns Deadpool and the X-Men. We could see.
I don't think we'll go like another Phoenix though.
I don't think they'll probably do another
for a
Phoenix
while.
movie.
Yeah.
But there's
they're
so many
smart.
other X-Men movies that
Yeah.
they could do. So many
Oh,
better
yeah.
stories.
We could do an actual Old Man Logan now.
Yeah, I mean, having the X-Men alone allows for like
Yeah.
just an extremely bigger story. They got the Fantastic Four now. They have so much stuff.
Yeah, I guess we could do Doom.
Their toy box doubled in size.
We could do like Doom, because a lot of people think it's gonna be Galactus, but I don't know. Just not feeling it, I guess.
I don't know.
Galactus would be like more of a. I mean, that's like.
The third part. If this was like the first part, let's save him for the third
I mean,
part.
because he's. Well, and the other thing is that Galactus. It's not so much that he's even a. I mean, he's a villain, don't get me wrong. But it's more because of the fact of what he is and what he needs, which is life. And he has to eat life. But he's been controlled before and stopped before. So it isn't as though he's like the infinite bad guy, but he is kind of like the next step up from Thanos. You know, he's the world eater. He's, you know.
See, I feel like we have to go with the Skrulls somehow.
I mean, they could do a whole Skrull
Do
storyline.
the Secret Wars and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of people think Middleton was in the ending and at Peter Parker's school.
Yes.
yeah.
I didn't see that, but
It's really hard to see him even, I mean, because obviously seeing like online the really shitty footage of someone recording it in
Yeah.
a theater, but seeing it twice, and the second time I was really trying to look for that. It does look like him, but I cannot say 100% for certain that that is him. If it could be him, and if it is him, then obviously he is a Skrull. But what does that mean? I mean, hopefully they're still going to continue that, because I mean, we had rumors that for sure one of the Avengers is going to be a Skrull.
and we might still get that.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
totally possible.
What if like Fury is?
He's the one that kind of makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before it was like maybe Tony, maybe Black Widow,
If I had my money on it, I'd
But-
put it on Fury as well.
and we know he's in Spider-Man: Far From Home. Speculation.
Yeah.
When does that one come out, by the way?
Comes out July
5th.
Or 5th?
Yeah,
Okay.
they moved it up.
They moved it up to after 4th of July.
Good, which means the pre-showings will be like July 3rd. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the
Pre-show.
character that I think, kind of going back to that question, that a character that's already been introduced and somebody that I think at that level would be Hela. Because, for one, it wasn't Thor that actually beat Hela, and I still don't think Hela was actually defeated.
Yeah, is Hela really gone is like something I thought.
Yeah. I could really see the A-Force coming together. And I mean, she's the goddess of death. She's badass. So if you wanted to do like all female Avengers
She
against
could
a
become
female
like the new
villain.
Loki.
Right. And I mean, she's got that.
She's
down.
kind of got that following already.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Loki right away had like this big cult following, and like she already has that. I think
Well, she's a memorable villain. She's got cool ass powers.
she has a good costume.
Great costume. And has, funny, but like, or witty.
Witty, yeah,
Witty,
but still very,
and took out all the Asgardians.
Yeah, you definitely
The
know she
Warriors
means
3
business.
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, what's her face from the Warriors?
Lady Sif.
Yeah, where was she?
Yeah. Kevin Feige said that she was on a secret mission.
But is she in Endgame?
No.
I haven't heard.
She might have been. But I doubt it.
Howard the Duck made it, and she didn't.
She might be in there somewhere. We don't know.
She might be on the battlefield. We just can't.
I didn't see Howard Duck.
Yeah, I
And even the picture that we just saw, I was like, how did anybody pick that out? Like, you could barely tell that. That was
See,
like
I feel like
flattest
once
Howard
that comes
Duck.
out on Blu-ray, we're just gonna be sitting here like scene by scene.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have it like slow down on the computer, just like
Really looking at it.
looking at who's there.
That'd be a cool poster, though, of like Avengers and like Thanos' army coming out.
Well,
one
and as the
another.
army got bigger, I thought that badass too, because it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, holy shit, they are bringing
I
everyone.
love Long. He's like Strange. Just like, is everybody here?
Is
And he's
that
like,
everybody? And he's like, did you
Want more?
Yes,
Yeah.
bring in
We
the
must
X-Men.
And so, and that kind of, so a lot of people were like, 1 in 14 million, but, there's so many different ways that they could have easily gotten, like, Doctor Strange could have easily teleported his arm off, or
Which they kind of did
You
a
know.
couple of them throughout the movie.
in
As far-
Endgame, or
yeah, where he just like cuts off his arm.
yes. But a lot of people kept asking, like, why this 1 in 14 million chance? So the fan theory is, and this is kind of built up on a couple of different theories by different people on Reddit, is that the Mind Stone is the most corrupting stone, and that everybody who has had contact with it has wanted to be destructive. So obviously Thanos had it at one point, and he wanted to destroy half of everything. Loki had it; he wanted to take over the entire planet. And even Thor said in the Avengers 2012, he's like, "This isn't you. This is, He even said that was weird.
But was he under the mind control of Thanos?
I think it was
'Cause
more
I've seen
the
that.
scepter.
Yeah.
I think it was more that because he had the scepter, that it was corrupting him. And you see it, like, as it's playing, like, he looks like grungier and like
Yeah, he definitely looked like he was getting sick.
yeah. He
Kinda
looks
like a
like
drug
the other
addict.
people that he was, especially Dr. Selvig, who looked just as greasy haired and like, yeah, he was definitely looking like that.
And then Ultron, he was created from it.
Yeah, he was created from the Mind Stone, and obviously he wanted to destroy humanity and the world.
Banner, he
He picked up the scepter, and when they were getting upset, and obviously they were all getting upset with each other and fighting with one another. People ask about Vision because he has it, but there's a lot of different things about Vision. He was based on Jarvis for one, who is a real living human being, based on Tony, who programmed him, and he's powered by Thor's lightning and has already been deemed worthy
Yeah.
because he can pick up the hammer. So he has a complicated relationship with the stone as it is. So,
But in the comics, we know he can be really dark.
oh yeah, especially the Vision family. Yeah. But yeah, so the theory is that the reason why this is the 1 in 14 million chance is that Thanos destroys the Infinity Stones after he originally snapped and killed everybody. And that's what Doctor Strange wanted, because the Mind Stone needed to be destroyed or it was going to continue to corrupt people. But they still had to undo what happened and have everybody alive, but then still stop Thanos. So that's why this was the 1 in 14 million chance. That's the fan theory. So.
Well, I think, unless anybody has something else they wanted to talk about.
Oh, did we want to talk about what we think? That it may not be time travel, but that it is most likely multiverse?
Yeah, you guys can explain that.
So, I was having a terrible time figuring out the time travel part of it, because I get very picky with time travel stuff because I like to do time travel stories and how they work. Their first plan was they killed Thanos, so they were going to go... Thanos snapped, killed everyone, they killed Thanos, they were going to go back in time, grab the stones, come back, snap everyone back into existence, go back, drop off the stones, go back to their time where everyone's alive. Everything's hunky-dory. That timeline works, everything happens in a nice straight line,
Yep.
and nothing's thrown about. But with the issue of
There's
Nebula...
a couple of issues.
yeah. So Nebula is signaling to Thanos that plan's going on. Thanos ends up following them to the future. So that throws the timeline off a lot, because if he came to the future, he wouldn't be in the past to snap and cause everything. But, Johnny, you were looking up...
I was looking at different articles because obviously this is the biggest, like, how does this all work? Because there's a couple of different things. So obviously in 2012, the plan does not go according to plan. At least for the Tesseract.
Yeah.
And Loki obviously gets away, and that's going to be explored most likely in the Disney Plus Loki television show. And then with Nebula and War Machine knocking Star-Lord out and taking the Power Stone, then I forget his name, the Accuser, who...
Oh, Ronan?
Not Ronan,
Oh.
the other guy.
The other Accuser?
Who's like,
was
I'm
him?
Star-Lord, and he's like, who?
Oh,
that guy.
yeah.
He would be able to kidnap Star-Lord, and obviously the Guardians wouldn't be able to get together, and they wouldn't be able to do what they do, all that stuff. And Star-Lord would most likely be dead. And then Nebula shooting herself, past version of her. So how is she still alive? And of course Professor Hulk talks about just because, you go in the past, that becomes your future, and just because you change it doesn't, blah, blah, blah. A little difficult to understand. We are not quantum theorists, we are not scientists, so I'm not going to sit here and try to say scientifically this is what works. But my theory, and what a couple of these articles have said, is that most likely what it is that they have created alternate timelines, just as the Ancient One was talking about. So multiverses. So because they went back into the past in these points of time, they've obviously created different branches and things like that. And so this is not the past of their universe. This is the past of a different universe. So that's not Thanos A, the one who snapped. That's Thanos B coming into the future and fighting them. That's why he can die, and yet the snap still happened. That's why Gamora still is alive. That's why Nebula can shoot herself, who is considered her past self, because that is Nebula B, not Nebula A. So that's and I also think that that's going to be part of the future of the MCU, is they're going to really be talking about this multi-theory stuff, and maybe the reason or the way that they're going to explain how they're going to bring in like Fantastic Four and X-Men and all these Fox properties. So, and then obviously Sony has talked about multiverses and stuff like that with Spider-Verse and things like that. And Venom is obviously tied to that because the end credit scene was about Spider-Verse. So there's a lot of potential here.
2 fun, quick things that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Not having anything to do with Endgame.
Okay.
Venom takes place in San Francisco. Ant-Man lives in San Francisco. They're both in the same place at the same time. And Donald Glover
It's the Prowler.
Yeah, is Miles Morales' uncle, so he's the Prowler, which we see in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 2 fun things.
Which I just watched Spider-Verse again. It's
Did you?
still really good.
Oh yeah, I really love that movie. The animation's a little.
It's a little hard.
There's just some parts with that.
Yeah.
It makes it look weird,
It's good.
but it's good. So.
You should see it.
I like
It is enjoyable. It's just
Very.
it hurt my eyes.
And it's just at
first.
certain parts when it kind of makes it look like it's 3D even though it's not.
They also changed frame rate a bit
Yeah.
here and there. Just messed with my eyes.
But
But anything else anybody wanted to add?
I think that's it.
I think it was a great movie.
Yeah. It's my number 2 MCU film, Infinity War being number 1.
Yeah, I'd probably be pretty secure saying the same.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
And I would probably put this one just a hair bit over Infinity War.
Okay.
Just a hair.
I definitely think this one.
It was more emotional, this one, like you were saying.
This one was way more emotional.
Yeah, the whole time was like pretty emotional, good and bad.
Yeah.
It was like a roller coaster.
But I think this one...
Well, this one was the first one, I think, and I'm trying to remember of the other, MCU movies. I think that I cried.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, they had a lot of those moments
What the
in it. Which I think it made it a lot more... There's a lot more personable moments in it than Infinity War had.
For sure.
But I like Infinity War more only simply for the fact that that is like the ultimate team up. Like, I thought Avengers was the ultimate team up movie, but this was like on a scale that like...
Yeah.
Well, and the way they fleshed Thanos out compared to like
That too.
every other villain they've done was like...
That was
amazed
Thanos'
me.
movie.
Yeah.
True. They really focused on him.
We
which
got
was
to
nice.
watch his story where he was kind of like the hero, but not the hero. It was them trying to make him out.
In a certain perspective.
Yeah, if you could look past like the insanity.
And trying to give the Black Order a little bit more personality, whereas in Endgame they're
Yeah,
barely
one
there.
gets smushed, one dusts. I didn't see 2 of them.
I really wanted a scene though of
Or no.
Ma going up to Thanos and being like, "I don't feel good, sir." Like, I really just wanted that.
Because he was walking slowly.
Yeah.
And he could have just like fallen.
I don't feel so well.
Yeah. Just because.
Well, and I think out of it just seemed like to be more of a badass. I would like to see Ma take on Thanos. I think.
Well,
It's the
Doctor
power.
Strange and Ebony Maw, like, I wanted to see those two fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown away in Infinity War to see Ma, the power he had, and just
Yeah,
and then a tree would fly in. It's just
Yeah.
like, he just did this. And,
Exactly. Yeah. I was really upset, and they built that up so much in the trailer because in the comics, apparently it's not as big either. But I still wish it would have been a little bit more. And because Doctor Strange, unfortunately, he doesn't get like as much attention as some of the other Avengers. I mean, he had not an end credit scene, but he had a scene in
He's like
Thor
the thinker.
Ragnarok.
He's
you
like
know?
the thinker. He sits in the background.
Yeah, but still.
He's just Doctor House with magic powers.
Yeah, pretty much.
His house with magic
Like,
powers.
really, that first, like,
Minus
20
the drug addiction.
we don't know that.
That's true. He might be a really big pill popper.
I mean, that first, like, 20 minutes where it's him in the hospital, you're like, I might be watching an episode of House. I just don't know it yet.
So time-wise, it was 2012, New York. Ancient One is like, Hulk goes to the sanctum, tries to go in, and she's like, watch out, we just have the floors waxed. And he's like, I'm looking for Doctor Strange. And she's like, you're about 5 years too early.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Doctor Strange came out in 2016. So that's 4 years.
Yeah, but the Spider-Man timeline was off, too.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but even in...
Because it said, like, 8 years later, which wouldn't have added up correctly.
Yeah.
Because if it was 2012, it would have been... Like,
They really need to be better on this than...
Yeah.
But it could still lead into the multiverse theory. Maybe in that timeline, it's 5 years.
well, and that's what
True.
kind of, like... So with her scene,
But I
I
still
remember her
also
saying, my universe
believe
won't
that
happen.
Doctor Strange takes longer than they say it does. Because for
Oh, yeah.
one, I'm sorry, but it should take longer than what? How long did they say that he learns magic? Like barely a year, and it's like,
Like 5 months, I thought.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
And I'm
recently.
like, you don't become the next Sorcerer Supreme
In like a few months?
in a few months. I'm sorry. Like, it made way more sense that, for one, it took place more during, like, Iron Man 2, because there was that guy with the back injury
Yeah.
that he declined.
Yeah.
Makes more sense than whoever else they said it was.
Well, it could
Rhodey.
have. It could have. Yeah, it could have been Rhodey in Civil War too.
No,
Yeah.
that's stupid. Stupid.
I don't know. They think these things out.
No. Well, they don't think them out well enough.
They think out everything but.
I know, they think
time.
about some of the
think-
stupidest
I think
things.
it's the other way around. I think everyone assumed it was Rhodey. Because they were like a
Well, a lot of people
military
think it was the
commander with
guy.
a spinal,
Yeah.
or military guy with a, or pilot with a spinal injury. But nobody thinks about like the timeline, and it would have had to been probably
Well, because on
The
his
guy
watch
that
it
gets-
said 2014 or some shit like that. Or,
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I've only seen it like maybe twice.
I don't think I've seen it since. Well, we watched it once.
I watched it once when it came out on Blu-ray, and that was like the last time I've watched it. We should probably rewatch all of them and then talk about them.
that's the plan. We're gonna rewatch each movie and talk about them
We should
next
also watch
time.
the trailers. Because there's a lot of shit in the trailers
That would be pretty fun.
that they don't have in the movies.
Yeah, or
That would be fun to like do it and break it down. Like we'll use the trailer and then break it down and slow it down for you guys
Hope
to
we
show
don't
you
get,
everything.
copyright strikes.
But I think we could probably get away with it.
I don't know. That one guy had all that shit on there.
Yeah. I
We'll just
don't
do that. We'll make a. Anyway,
Just make it blurry.
if you guys want us to go through the trailers and tell you all the things that are not in the movies, comment down in the comment section. Let us know if you want us to do that. If you want to hear us talk about each of the Marvel movies, we'll rewatch them all. We'll marathon them.
know.
22 hours straight, no sleep.
It's longer than that. It takes like 3 days to
16
watch them.
days, I think, is what we came up with, right?
No, it's like
it was
3 days.
3 days.
Straight.
That was the dude who watched like 100 and how many times?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
he
was-
watched Infinity War 103 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, but if you want us to review each of the movies, comment down in the comment section. Is there something we missed? Let us know down there. What did you think of Endgame? Did you like it? Did you not like it? How hard did you cry? How hard did you laugh? Did you poop yourself? Whatever. Let us know down in the comment section. And
Did you die?
did you die? Did you get dusted? Will you snap back into existence?
Yes.
I would
Apparently I
have
did
been
get
because I got
tested.
dusted.
But you know what you can do? You can snap your fingers and hit that like button
Yeah, what is
Hit
it
that
say?
bell.
Yeah, hit that bell. Get notifications.
And follow us.
Ding.
You can follow us on Twitter. Two Guys Talk Comics on Twitter. You can follow me, Sound in Reverse, or Sir_Gaming, Twitter. You can follow Keegan. Where?
At the Real Cools, CULZ, or at Spotty Reception, which is kind of like our other collage channel, as I like to call it, because we just throw random stuff and movie reviews.
Johnny is on hiatus from Twitter.
Yeah, fuck that.
Matt, where can they find you on Twitter?
At Avalanche Fever.
Avalanche Fever.
Evil.
Yeah, just let us know what you think. Let us know what you guys want us to do. We plan on playing more games in the future, talking about more movies, more comic books.
Doing more stuff. Bye.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you all next time.
In the future. Or the
Bye-bye.
past.